welcome you to mylocalradio.com for the continuation of the Addicted Power Sports High School Rodeo Series, live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Rock Springs Sweetwater Events Complex for day one of competition of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals. My name's Elan, joined by Matt Petrie, as we've got this next 5 days of top flight competition, and it all starts with the first event. It's going to be the boys and girls cutting and the reined cow horse event.
You know, I'm as excited to be here as you are, I think. But I think just a little history on this. We started this idea about a year ago, and then the last probably 5 months we really came together, and this was the pinnacle for us, and I couldn't be more excited to see all the events this week.
Absolutely. We've got it all for you. We'll have the reined cow horse and the cutting today and tomorrow. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll have all the performances of the rodeo in the large arena. But today we find ourselves in the indoor arena for, the boys and girls cutting and the reined cow horse. Let's go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll get you set for this event, let you know what the standings look like, and get you excited for the week to come. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals, brought to you by Addicted Power Sports, live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
Get ready to cause some mayhem this summer with help from your friends at Addicted Power Sports in Evanston. Your one-stop shop for all your power sports needs. Side-by-sides, four-wheelers, motorcycles, and more. Play hard and play safe. At Addicted Power Sports, you'll find various protective equipment, including helmets and also apparel from fly racing, box, and more. Addicted Power Sports has a full service and parts department for any make and model. Yamaha, Kawasaki, Can-Am, Skidoo, and more. Whether you're tearing up the road or trail, let the experienced professionals help you out. Addicted Power Sports, 127 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
You're turning 65 and retiring and have no clue what to do about Medicare. You own your own business or don't have health insurance. You know you need life insurance and don't know where to start. At My Life Financial, we can help with all these insurance needs. From Medicare supplements to finding the right health insurance plan and even dental and vision. We've got you covered. Call My Life Financial at 435-557-3170. That's My Life Financial at 435-557-3170. We do it different.
At Cowboy State Realty, we are dedicated to helping you with all your real estate needs. You are moving to a new town for a new job. Your family has outgrown the house that you live in now. You're ready to take a leap and become a homeowner. Sell or buy your home with a realtor you can trust. At Cowboy State Realty, we are working for you. Call us at 307-200-4332 to schedule an appointment today. Cowboy State Realty would like to give a huge congratulations to the graduating class of 2023.
Are you tired of living with water that's causing rust stains, hard water spots, or other issues in your home? Water's supposed to make life easier and more comfortable, and we can help you experience the water you deserve. As your local authorized Hague dealer, we can tailor a water treatment solution to address your specific needs. We can make sure your laundry stays soft, your skin silky smooth, with a custom-designed water treatment conditioning system. Your whole home and family will benefit from the high-quality water you deserve. Call us today.
Scan the QR code now to see how your city water stacks up. Or call 307-787-6800 to schedule your free water and air analysis.
And we welcome you back to Rock Springs High School Rock Springs Sweetwater Events Complex here for day one of competition of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals. Getting started with the boys and girls cutting in the reined cow horse go round number one as we get ready for this one. And it is going to be a very, very fun day. And let's go ahead and set the scene. Let's first check out our ready results, our, as you can say, ready standings, state standings, as we'll go ahead and get that one ready to go. Again, our state standings brought to you by Ready Safety and Excellence in Industrial Services since 1982. And in the girls cutting, it does look like Gillette's Adeline Norstegard comes in with a 3-point advantage over Bailey Lane from Torrington. But when you look at what the payouts are, I guess you can say points-wise in each one of these events, this is a very close race in the girls cutting.
It is. A first-place finish in this gives you 15 points, which, obviously if you're only 3 points behind, that'll put you 12 ahead. So every single one of these events is important. And even with Tiana Jolovich being, 92 and Adeline being at a 113, that could switch easily by the end of the day.
Let's talk about the points payout. During the regular season, it's 10 points for first place, 9 for second, all the way down through the top 10. Only 6 competitors in the girls cutting here at the state finals. But the points have changed a little bit, and it's bigger.
It's bigger. It's 1.5 times that. So first place finish, you get 15 points. Second is 13.5. Third is 12. So on down to 10th place, which obviously won't get there, but 6th would be a 7.5.
Let's look at the Reined cow horse standings, and right now everybody's chasing Cooper Justice out of Parkman, 122.5 points. Bailey Lane from Torrington in second place with a 105. This is, of course, all about the horse, so it is a co-event sport, or co-ed event, and also have to keep your eye on Sydney Rohde out of Warland.
And Tally Engel, don't sleep on her. She won 2 different events this year, first place and took second in 2 others. So, all the way down to 8th place person right now could step up and make it interesting here.
And then the boys cutting, of course, the standings are as followed. You've got probably the biggest margin or biggest lead, I guess you can say, in the 3 events that we're going to see over the next couple of days, with Keaton Hayden out of Gillette, 123.5 points. Cody Hayden from Gillette with 111, and then Adam Bellis from Buffalo with 60. So it does primarily look like a 2-horse race, so to speak. But don't count out any of those other guys if they can have a good state finals here.
No, Ian McGuire and Jess Cooper have both taken first place in separate events this year.
As we are about 7 minutes away from the scheduled start time. They haven't brought the cattle in to get settled yet, so I think we will be running a little bit behind schedule. But, Matt, you look at the point payout, and you look at that 15 points, and it's not just for the first go, the second go, and the third go. They're also going to give out 15 points to the winner of the average, so you can get a maximum of 60 points here at the state finals. It really could shake up some of these races, especially tomorrow morning when we have the results of that third go.
It's one of the great things about this rodeo is even if you're in 5th or 6th, 7th place right now, they take the top 4 to the national finals. And there's absolutely an opportunity for everybody involved the next 2 days to get to that level.
And when we come back, we will hear from Dixie Huxtable. She is the national director for the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association. Got a chance to talk with her earlier in the week as the cattle get in and they prepare to get settled and prepare to start the cutting and Reined cow horse round 1 here at the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo State Finals, brought to you by Addictive Power Sports, live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
Growing up is all about having your independence, and YHI is here to help you gain real financial freedom with a YHI Independence Account. With an emphasis on education, growth, and experience, the YHI Independence Account prepares you to handle your own finances, so you're ready for what life throws your way. We're talking no parent or legal guardian required on your account, no risk of collections or negative reporting, and no overdraft fees. Find your independence with the YHI Independence Account today.
We are chasing a dream, one that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites us. Here's to those who lead this life.
What is you into BOCES #1? It's your community college to pursue your degree or certificate. It's high school equivalency. It's CPR and other workforce training. It's cooking and computer classes. It's 3D printers, vinyl cutters, and other free tools. We're many different things to many different people, meeting the education needs of the place we call home. So what is you into BOCES #1? That's for you to decide. Come see us today and let us help you make your educational dreams come true.
Evanston Cowboy Days, the biggest little rodeo in the West, celebrates its 87th year this September 1st through the 4th. Chancey Williams kicks off the festivities on Friday, September 1st, and the next 3 days feature PRCA rodeos, live bands, vendors, and a live fish catch, and so much more. For more information and tickets, visit evanstoncowboydays.com.
Here with Dixie Huxtable. She is the National Director for the state of Wyoming here as we get ready to broadcast the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals in Rock Springs. Cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. And Ms. Huxtable, thank you so much for joining us. First question, we've talked with rodeo secretaries in Utah, and they've talked about how much work it goes into putting on and preparing to put on a rodeo. But one of this magnitude, I'm sure it's a whole nother level. Can you talk to us about what kind of preparations the state puts into the state finals?
Sure, and thank you for having us on your radio. We appreciate all the support you guys give us. So the state finals starts a year in advance. We will start working on next year's finals the day we finish this one. So it's a year-long process that involves organizing cattle, organizing the facility to get the camping and the stalling that the kids are going to need, to ticket takers, staff, getting the right people in the right spot. Obviously, the kids work all year long, going to rodeos from starting in September, going all the way through the spring to get themselves ready. So it behooves us state board to do everything we can to get the state finals to be a professional-looking, timely, or organized event for these kids.
Ms. Huxtable, Wyoming is the cowboy state, so it's no surprise that high school rodeo is a big deal here in Wyoming. We even have a reigning national champion in the bareback riding with Tucker Caricato. Can you talk a little bit about the history of high school rodeo in Wyoming and why it is so prevalent?
Of course, we are very proud to be the cowboy state, and we are very proud to be able to host the national high school finals many, many times. As a matter of fact, this summer will be the 75th anniversary of the high school finals. Wyoming started our high school association. We were actually a committee of the American Legion, and we still are a part of the American Legion. If you look at our official title, we are the American Legion Wyoming High School Rodeo Association, and we're very proud of the support we've gotten from the American Legion. We were formed in the Saratoga area. They created a high school rodeo back in 1954, and we've been able to have one every year since, with the exception of the COVID year, which put us off. But we have had numerous, I wouldn't even want to count the number of national champions, national student officers. We have an award called the Jim Moore Award, and that's named after someone who was a national student president. We're very proud of all of our kids that go on to qualify for nationals, make the short round at nationals, become champions. We have the reigning girls all around. Reined Grant, she's now graduated from high school and now to college, but we have numerous national champions, and that's what these kids work so hard to do, is not only be the champion from Wyoming, but to show off Wyoming in Wyoming and be a national champion.
Kind of a fun question for you here. Of course, every single one of these kids are competing to be national champions and win at the National High School Rodeo Finals. But how big is it to also come out of Wyoming as the state champion for these kids? How big of a goal is that for them?
Well, I think for most of them, it's the biggest goal they have. It not only sets them up for the national high school finals, but it sets them up for college. We have numerous college coaches that come and study and start recruiting our kids as young as being freshmen to help them get into a college to further their education, but to also compete at that CNFR that happens in Wyoming. ironically, and we are so proud. I am personally proud to be able to go to the CNFR and say that's one of my kids. That's one of my kids from Wyoming that I watched come through junior high, high school, and now they're in college. And I think that's a goal for our kids. And then ultimately to be a professional PRCA champion, and we've had those as well. So we are very proud of being able to maybe be the starting point or the basic starting point for these kids in an organized organization to be high school rodeoing.
You talk about the names that have come out of high school rodeo, and being a lifelong rodeo fan myself, I know that you don't necessarily have favorite riders or anything like that. You become a fan of the sport in general, and through that, there's certain people that you just gravitate towards. There's big names. There's always the name that's shooting up and kind of making a name for themselves this year. It's the reigning junior high national champion, Hadley Thompson. She's had a great season. Tucker Caracato looks to defend his national championship. We got some really tight competitions. How much are you looking forward to this national? How much are you looking forward to this state championship week over in Rock Springs?
You know, I get really excited about it. I, unfortunately, this year have not been able to go to all the rodeos. I usually try to go to all the spring or most of the spring. So I've not been able to actually watch the kids, only see the results. So this is really exciting for me to get to come to Rock Springs and be there for the whole week and watch these kids. I know most of them personally. I've been involved with them. Many of them I've been involved with when their parents were in this organization, which might show my age a little, but it's very exciting to watch these kids go all year long, watch them have a bad weekend and pop back up, and then come to state finals and know that they've got to put 3 great runs together in order to qualify and to win that saddle that they want to win. And so it's exciting. It's always fun when it's a close call, when it's kind of in the bag, so to speak. It's good to watch, but it's not always as exciting as it is when you've got some challenges going on. And I see this year we do have some in some of our events. And you mentioned the Thompson, the Caracato. You know, I've watched these kids for years, and it's always a thrill to watch them come compete in the arena because they will give it their best and they will do it professionally and with great sportsmanship. So it's always fun to come watch them.
I was going to say, if they're like many of the other rodeo athletes that we've seen on our little trip through high school rodeo this spring, not only are they great athletes, they're just great all-around kids. What can you speak to about that?
Oh, they're outstanding. I can't speak high enough about our kids. One of my greatest pleasures is when I get an email from a person that has nothing to do with the rodeo, and they're complimenting my kids. And I do refer to them kids, even though they're not my biological, they're all my kids, that helped somebody in a store by carrying their groceries, or helped somebody get in a car and they had their back number on. So that person knew they were part of high school rodeo. And I end up with that email. And that makes me so proud of not only the kids, but the parents for instilling all that into them. So they are always known for being there when someone is down, maybe a horse gets hurt or somebody's got a problem, and somebody will share that horse. There's not that competitive, you can't use mine because it's mine. It's here, let's see what we can do to help you have a good shot. And every one of these kids meet that goal. I'm really proud of all of our kids.
That is Dixie Huxtable. She's the national director for the state of Wyoming for the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association. Miss Huxtable, it's been a pleasure talking with you. State Finals is here. Cannot wait to get to the arena and get started with the event starting this Tuesday with the boys and girls cutting and the Reined cow horse. Again, thank you so much for the time. Anything else before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. Just thank you for all your support. We reach out to all the fans in the area to come watch us. It'll be a fun time. It looks like the weather's going to cooperate. We pray that is always good, but we are from Wyoming, so we'll take it as it comes, and we hope to see everybody in Rock Springs this next week.
A big thank you to Dixie Huxtable for joining us on our pre-performance program. That was Dixie Huxtable, the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association National Director. Well, the cattle are getting settled, and we're getting ready to get started with the cutting here momentarily. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have it. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The town of Mountain View is located in the historic Bridger Valley and serves as a gateway to the high Uintas. With a panoramic view of the rugged Uinta peaks, you feel like you are in paradise. Our town park and scenic river walk offer a safe place for rest and relaxation. Looking for a great place to live? Our quality of life is great and our people are very friendly. Come join our tranquil way of life. The town of Mountain View, a gateway to the high Uintas.
And it's time to get started here as we prepare to start the Reined cow horse later on today. But first it'll be the girls cutting as the cattle are getting settled. Elan and Matt Petrie here live on mylocalradio.com. It's the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals, brought to you by Addicted Power Sports in Evanston, Wyoming. Whether it's for work or play, check out Addicted Power Sports' selection of dirt bikes, road bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides. Addicted Power Sports, Evanston, Wyoming, 307-789-7533. And Matt, as we get set here for the start of the girls cutting, you've got the points matrix, and let's, I guess, do a quick recap of the season leading up to this point.
You know, Elan Nostergaard has to be the favorite. She's won multiple events this year. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 6 events. However, Bailey Lane has won 3 of the last 4. She's coming on strong and just 3 points behind, like you said earlier. Tiana Jolovich has been several second and third place finishes, so she's right there in the mix as well.
So, unfortunately, we're going off of what information we are given here in the arena. Right now, there does not appear to be an announcer. We'll see if someone is announcing scores later on. So, if that is the case, we'll do the best we can to keep up with what's going on. But unless we have a way to get fed scores, we won't have those live, and we will do our very best to get those to you before the beginning of the second go, starting at 4 o'clock p.m. Our pre-performance, though, at 3:45 p.m.
Exactly. While we've got a couple of minutes here, there's a few people that we need to thank for making this possible. Let's start with Mr. Val Cook, owner of My Local Radio, for buying into our idea and letting that go. Then, of course, Dixie Huxtable with the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association, and Dee Dee DeLeo with the National High School Rodeo Association. You know, without those people, none of this would be possible for us.
This is live on mylocalradio.com. You can also catch it on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
And a thank you to Tyler from Cowboy Channel, too, as well, for setting that up.
Absolutely. You can hear the early birds chirping as we get ready to start the competition. They had the Queen contest yesterday. We'll have more about that later on in the week. Let's go ahead and go through our schedule for broadcasts. Of course, we've got the Reined cow horse and cutting this today. We've got the first go. Well, you're watching it right now. The second go will start at 3:45 p.m. Then Wednesday's final round will start at 6:45 a.m. tomorrow. And then we've got the first performance at, I believe it's 7:30 a.m. is when we'll be live, and then 5:30 p.m. will be the second performance. And then those same times on Friday and then Saturday, we'll have the national qualifying round, the short go, where we'll crown our 2023 state champions on Saturday. And that's going to get started at 8:45 a.m.
And then I believe we'll have, it's 5 or 5:30, we'll have the buckle and saddle ceremony.
Yep, as we await the start of this one. looks like an announcement taking place down on the arena. And we'll go ahead and stop for the national anthem. All right, so instructions being given down from the arena floor. And Grace Peterson from Buffalo will be our first one to go. So we're going to ask our camera person, Dennis, to keep an ear out for any announcements that are made down on the arena floor, as it looks like that's how they're going to run with things here today.
It looks like Grace is sitting in the 5th spot currently, so she's right outside that top 4.
So they said it'll be Grace Peterson, Caitlin Snyder, then Adeline Norstegard, Bailey Lane, Carly Peterson, and Tiana Jelovich from Gillette will close down the first go for the girls cutting, and then the boys cutting will be after that. And then we'll have the Reined cow horse. So once we get started, it'll go by fairly quickly. And Matt, why don't you run us through the rules of cutting?
Cutting, it's actually 2.5 minutes long, but the first 2 minutes they have to cut a steer that is chosen for them by one of those riders in the arena, and keep that steer away from the rest of the herd. The final 30 seconds, they have to let that steer go and cut another one. Grace did pick up 2 wins, our first rider. She won both days in Wheatland this year.
She awaits the start of her run. You can kind of see her just out of frame, it looks like. This run brought to you by My Life Financial. Life is always changing, which means your insurance needs change also. My Life Financial in Evanston, Wyoming can help you with all your insurance needs. Call My Life Financial at 435-557-3170.
We will be recognizing our sponsors with each different rider here, so stay tuned for that.
So again, it is going to be Grace Peterson of Buffalo leading things off, then Caitlin Snyder from Gillette, Adeline Norstegard, our state leader from Gillette, then Bailey Lane from Torrington, Carly Peterson from Buffalo, and Tiana Jelovich from Gillette will close down the first round of girls cutting, and then the boys cutting. Adam Bellis will be first out of Buffalo. Cody Hayden from Gillette will be second. Ian McGuire from Wheatland will be third. Cooper Justice from Parkman will be fourth. Keaton Hayden from Gillette fifth, and Porter McCumber from Thermopolis sixth. The events we're going to see today really come down to horsemanship and training and preparation.
It is, they say it's 50-50 for the rider and the horse, but I would lean a little more towards the horse on these two different events. A good score for cutting would be an 80. That would put you right at the top. Average score is right at 70, so expect most of these scores between 70 and 80, with Adeline's been up in the 78, 79 range for most of her events.
Again, it's going to be 15 points to the winner of the first go, 15 points to the winner of the second go later on this afternoon. That'll be Grace Peterson to lead things off. She rides into the arena and gets competition underway at the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals here in Rock Springs. Again, this run brought to you by My Life Financial. And this is Grace Peterson from Buffalo. Going into the herd, picking out which one she wants to kind of sort away. And it looks like she's got her assignment, and now we'll just watch this horse work.
Absolutely. You'll see the cowboy helpers come in from the side to keep that steer moving when it decides to put the brakes on.
She'll let that one go. Now she'll cut another one from the herd, and she'll repeat this process for about 2.5 minutes. Also want to try to keep that whatever animal you're cutting away from the herd towards the center of the arena.
That animal does rejoin the herd. That, of course, lowers the score dramatically.
Looks like Peterson's going to target in on this one a little bit. The agility of these horses are just poetry in motion to watch, just watching them go from side to side. And that's the time right there. That's what? It'll be 66 points for Grace Peterson. And she sets the top mark now. So we will have scores as the
our excellent spotter Dennis will get those for us.
Well, got to give a shout out to the person down in the arena running the event. Her voice is carrying
That
pretty
is
well
true.
for us. So as that'll now bring up Caitlin Snyder from Gillette, chasing that 66 by Grace Peterson.
Caitlin does have one first place finish on the year.
And this run brought to you by Cowboy State Realty in Bridger Valley, Wyoming.
Cowboy State Realty, with unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, Cowboy State Realty offers the Southwest Wyoming real estate experience you've been looking for. Give them a call today at 307-200-4332.
This is Caitlin Snyder from Gillette. Grace Peterson from Buffalo was our first competitor, put up a 66.
A little trouble getting those two separated there.
closer you can get to that calf, the higher your score is going to be as well. So this is looking like a pretty good run here by Snyder. Runs out of the center quadrant, though, and it's going to get past her, so she'll get another one. Elan Norstergaard, the state leader, sits on deck. Good job here by Snyder, just letting that horse work. Probably going to let that one go because time continues to tick by. Only 2.5 minutes to put on the best run you can. And that's the time. .52 for Caitlin Snyder. And that'll now bring up Adeline Norstergaard, the state leader. And Matt, talk about what Norstergaard has done over the last couple of weeks.
Adeline's got, let's see, 7 wins on the year. The last one coming just before Gillette, and she is on a roll. The other one to watch here is Bailey Lane. She's won 3 out of the last 4.
And we'll see Lane right after Norstergaard. 6 competitors in the girls cutting, so Norstergaard marks our halfway point. Chasing that 66 set by Grace Peterson. This run brought to you by Evanston Cowboy Days, the biggest little rodeo in the West in Evanston, Wyoming on Labor Day weekend. Catch Chancey Williams on Friday, September 1st, and PRCA Rodeos with a host of other fun family events from September 2nd through the 4th. Only at the Evanston Cowboy Days. Visit evanstoncowboydays.com for the scheduled and to buy your tickets. Live action, it's the #1 cowgirl in the state in girls cutting, Adeline Norstergaard. And you're starting to see why. Look at this horse.
That is a beautiful horse.
Not giving that calf any room, and Norstergaard doing a great job trying to keep it towards the center quadrant, or the center third rather. She'll let that one go and now cut another one away.
If you watch the horse, he's got one picked out already that he wants to go after.
You can see this horse is just working right now. Norstergaard just guiding it to the position it needs to be here, and then sometimes with these horses you just gotta let them go and do their thing.
Let them go and hang on.
30 seconds remaining for Norstergaard. And now she'll see if she'll get another one cut away. But you can tell why she is the #1 in the state. Again, this is all about training and preparation. Just kind of chemistry with the horse, as Norstergaard is demonstrating great here as she gets time. And it's a new leader, 71 for Adeline Norstergaard. So a 71 by Norstegard now takes the lead on our top mark, brought to you by Ready. Safety and excellence.
We've got Bailey Lane up next, who we mentioned before. She's won 3 out of the last 4 events.
This is probably your run for the state title is between these two going into it, but we'll see what happens. Bailey Lane out of Torrington. Beautiful horse for Lane. After tomorrow morning, the top 4 will be going on to Gillette at the national finals.
I can guarantee you the 2 that we just saw and the one we're watching now will be there.
The battle for 4th heating up as only 6 are here. But right now, Caitlin Snyder of Gillette in that 4th place spot, but Grace Peterson with 45 and Carla Peterson with 26. Great job here behind Lane. Has had all the momentum coming into the state finals. Can she carry it to a state championship? .30 seconds remain for Lane. See if it's enough to chase down that 71 by Adeline Norstegard, but Bailey Lane definitely showing this is going to be a race to the finish.
It is.
And that's it. .72. So 71, then 72. And that shows the momentum by Lane is indeed carrying over into the state finals. But Adeline Norstegard not going anywhere. That is as close as it can get.
If there's a time of year that you want to get this hot streak going, it's now. Got Carly Peterson out of Buffalo coming up next.
She rides in. Back number 438. So 71 by Norstegard in second, 72 by Bailey Lane in first. And third right now, Grace Peterson. Remember the point payouts. Everyone's going to get points because there's less than 10 competitors, but 15 for first, 13.5 for second, and you just times the usual 10, 9, 8, 7 by 1.5. So third for 12 for third, 10.5 for fourth. 9 for fifth, 7.5 for sixth, 6 for seventh, 4.5 for eighth, 3 for ninth, and 1.5 for 10th. But since there's only 6 competitors, we're going to go 15 to 7.5 would be the assumption. As this run is brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Center. Les Schwab Tire Center's home of the best value promise and doing the right thing since 1952. And doing the right thing right now is Carly Peterson.
Carly doesn't have a win yet this year, but she did have a 3rd and 4th place finish in Gillette in the last events.
If you can pick up your first win of the season at round 1 of the state finals, you might as well do it.
Save the best for last, as the old cliche goes.
Peterson comes in here, number 6, so needs to jump 2 spots in order to make that nationals team. Tiana Jelovic is on deck. She'll be our final girls cutter. .30 seconds remain for Peterson. Carly out of Buffalo. Has her final cow picked out. And that's going to do it for Carly Peterson. .68, so that's good enough for 3rd place for Carly Peterson. Great run by her. That'll be Tiana Jelovic from Gillette, our final girls cutter. So as it sits right now, it's Bailey Lane from Torrington sits in first. Adeline Norstegard 1 point behind in second. So the average is going to be very interesting going into that second round as well. Carly Peterson, who just wrapped up from Buffalo at 68. Grace Peterson in 4th with 66. And Caitlin Snyder down at 5th with 52. Jelovic from Gillette comes into the state finals, ranked number 3 in the state.
She has not picked up a win yet this year, but she has several 2nd and 3rd place finishes.
One of those just be consistent throughout the season.
Absolutely.
Type deal. 3rd place today will net you 12 points. So in order to get that, she's got to beat the 68 that Carly Peterson just put up. But if you can get to 69, you might as well shoot for that 72 at the top of the leaderboard.
There's a little bit of a wide gap between the steer and her horse right now, but she'll look to tighten it up on the second one here.
This run, by the way, brought to you by Y-High Federal Credit Union. Visit Y-High Federal Credit Union in Lyman, Green River, Rock Springs, Cheyenne, or Casper for all your new and used auto loans, personal loans, and business and home loans. Y-High Federal Credit Union, we're with you. Tiana Jelovic from Gillette, our final girls cutter here in go round number 1.
I can't even imagine the number of hours that these kids and these horses put in practice.
Jelovic, the number 3 cowgirl in the state in this event. 30 seconds left in round 1 of the girls cutting. And that's it. 71.5, and that actually puts her into second place. And that ends the first round of the girls cutting, but man, Jelovich with a 71.5 puts her into second place, and that, as we bring up our ready results, makes things really interesting. Bailey Lane takes the win from Torrington. Tiana Jelovich comes in second with a 71.5. Gillette's Adeline Norstegard comes in third with a 71. Carly Peterson, 68 from Buffalo in fifth place. Fifth place goes to Grace Peterson at 66, and sixth place to Caitlin Snyder from Gillette.
As you mentioned, they also get the 15 points, the additional points for the average. So we've got 3 within a point and a half there.
In just a minute, we're going to get to our updated state standings. These are by the way, our standings all unofficial, as Bailey Lane picks up 15 points. Tiana Jelovich takes 13.5, as we are putting these in right now. Again, all of these standings are unofficial, but it does give you an idea of who's probably to beat in this one. But after our first run of the the girls Reined cow horse, cutting rather, as Carly Peterson will take fourth, and that will now give her 10.5 points. So that's quite a run for her as she gets into double digits for the first time. Grace Peterson takes fifth, and that will give her 9 points. And then Caitlin Snyder is going to come home with 7.5. And now when you update our standings, check this out. Matt Petrie. Don't know where that came from. Matt Petrie, look at this. A tie now in the state standings. At 125.5, it's Norstegard and Lane all knotted up at 125.5 on the season.
That shows Bailey and her hot streak that she's been on has narrowed that gap to nothing.
So here we go to this afternoon. Could be the biggest cutting competition of the season as we get set for the boys cutting. Let's go ahead and take a look at our state standings for the boys. And it is Keaton Hayden out of Gillette with a 123.5. Cody Hayden from Gillette with a 111. Adam Bellis from Buffalo with 60 points. Cooper Justice at 57.5. Ian McGuire with a 55.5. And Porter McCumber with a 52. Any four of these 6 boys cutting contestants could be on their way to Gillette. Look at how close it is throughout, with the exception of the top 2.
Keaton Hayden has won 8 out of the 12 events this year. Cody Hayden's right. He won the second go in Jackson. Adam Bellis also has a win. Cooper Justice, Ian McGuire, they all have wins this year. So it can flip a switch real quick here.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we will have the boys cutting. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals live from Rock Springs, presented by Addicted Power Sports, live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
We are chasing a dream, one that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites us. Here's to those who lead this life.
And we welcome you back to Rock Springs Sweetwater Events Complex for day one of competition of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals here on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, presented by Addicted Power Sports in Evanston. Whether it's for work or play, check out Addicted Power Sports' selection of dirt bikes, road bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides. Addicted Power Sports, Evanston, Wyoming, 307-79-7533. And we just wrapped up the girls cutting. Let's go ahead and recap that really, really quick. In round number one on our ready results board, safety and excellence in industrial services since 1982, Bailey Lane of Torrington takes the win in go round number one. But Tiana Jelovich from Gillette puts on a good run, only half a point off in the average. Adeline Norsegard, the number one cowgirl in the state coming into it, finishes third with 71. And yeah, the numbers are off a little bit because of the way the spreadsheet's set up. But Adeline Norsegard comes in third with 71. Carly Peterson in fourth with 68. Buffalo's Grace Peterson in fifth with 66. And Caitlin Snyder from Gillette in sixth with 52. And then something awesome happened when you look at the state standings. And that's Norsegard and Bailey Lane tied at the top of the standings with a 125.5 to Jelovich, though, only down by 20 points. And when you look at that average, Jelovich only half a point off this afternoon. Promises to be some high-quality competition in the girls' cutting event.
Again, there's still 45 points up for grabs.
Yep.
Between the second go, the final, and the average.
Are getting ready for the boys cutting. It'll be Adam Bellis to lead things off. Cody Hayden, Ian McGuire, Justice Cooper, Keaton Hayden, and Porter McCumber. When you look at the boys' standings right now, it really is a two-horse race at the moment between Keaton Hayden of Gillette and Cody Hayden of Gillette, although you'd have to give the advantage 12 points to Keaton Hayden right now.
Never discounting a little sibling rivalry there, though.
So what we're assuming is both of them have the last name of Hayden and from Gillette. So we prepare to start the boys cutting. We'll have the Reined cow horse a little bit later on in the day. Of course, in the Reined cow horse, we have 8 contestants in that one. The first go will take place after the cutting. So we are about an hour into our program today. And we got a lot of the same names in Reined cow horse that we see in cutting. Cooper Justice, Maddie Bloomgren, Jamie Adamson, Tally Engel, Audrey Kemmer, Josie Waits, Sydney Urodi, but Bailey Lane from Torrington also there. So big chance in the all-around cowgirl picture for her.
And to continue Bailey's hot streak in the reining, she has won 4 out of the last 8.
So very few cowgirls have been on as much of a roll as Bailey Lane coming into the state finals. As we prepare for the boys cutting, starting momentarily. They got to bring in a new pin of cattle and get them settled. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we will have more from Rock Springs as we come back. You're tuned in to the 2023 WHSRA State Finals live on mylocalradio.com and on the demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
We are chasing a dream, one that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites us. Here's to those who lead this life.
Elan, Olliff, and Matt Petrie coming to you live from Rock Springs, Wyoming. It's the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals. And day one of a packed 5 days. Here we've got, of course, round one of the boys and girls cutting in the rein cow horse event. But you look at our broadcast schedule, and it is packed to the gills. We've got, of course, round two later on this afternoon. We'll actually be on the air around 2:45 p.m. Check that, 3:45 p.m. actually. And then for the rein cow horse and cutting finals tomorrow at 6:45 a.m. I'm going to turn that mic down just a little bit. 6:45 a.m. And then Thursday, round one, performance number one will be on the air at 8 a.m. with that scheduled to start at 8:30. And then round one, performance two will be at 5:30 p.m. On Friday, round two, performance one at 8 a.m. Round two, performance two at 5:30 p.m. And then the national qualifying round at 8:45 a.m. That's where we're going to crown our state champions and figure out who is going to be representing Wyoming in Gillette in July at the national finals. And it's going to be a fun week. You don't want to miss it. Again, we're live on mylocalradio.com, but on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
You know, Elan, this is we've broadcast a few rodeos this year, but this is the first time we've gotten to do cutting. So what are your thoughts on it?
Right, definitely an event where you're seeing a really horsemanship kind of reigning supreme here, and it's one where, like a lot of rodeo events in Wyoming, just the way it's been run, it's been very well run actually, and just hats off to the organizers and the competitors here. But no, I think it's been a really great time. Growing up around rodeo, cutting was one that I didn't really know a whole lot about coming into this year, but it's been a pleasure to kind of do the research and continue to learn more about this. And these cowboys and cowgirls definitely are some of the top horsemen and horsewomen in not just the state, I'd say the world, just with how they're able to train these horses to just work the way they do.
Absolutely, and you know, mentioned it a couple of times there, but you've got to hold on when that horse decides that it's going to keep that steer out there. It's you'll see them wrap their hands around the saddle horn, and there's good reason for that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of constantly moving with the horse, and that horse doesn't do as much as it can without the support of the rider, and the chemistry there is between the rider and the horse is definitely paramount in this event. But you look at let's look at that girls standings again, as this is the number one reason why you want to tune in this afternoon when we get started at 3:45 tonight for where'd it go? There we go. For the second round of the girls cutting. In the average, Jolovich trails Lane by half a point, and in the overall standings, check that out. Norstegard and Lane, 125.5 each.
Hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of miles put on this year to come down to being tied today.
Yep, and we'll see what happens. And I mean, there's not a big separation really in the points either. If you get one of them to go 1-2, this thing could come down to the average tomorrow morning rather.
Absolutely. You know, that's exactly what you want to see at a state finals, is a race right to the finish.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at that average picture right now. As you saw, Bailey Lane takes the win to get 15 points. Norsegard, who was number 1, led by 3 points, gets 12 points because of the more points that they pay out in the positions here. But Bailey Lane of Torrington with a 72 gets the win. But Tiana Jelovic, you said she hadn't won one this year, but she might have put on a bit of a momentum shift here in this first round.
It is. She's another one that started maybe a little slow this year, but came on strong here in the last few weeks.
So it's going to come down to that championship. Really, that championship round tomorrow is already destined to be an exciting finish to this one. But you look again, it's just going to be absolutely down to the wire, especially if Jelovic can get a round win this afternoon. There's really no telling what can happen. And then you look at the top 4, because remember, it's the top 4 that are moving on to the state final, or excuse me, to the national finals. And right now, that bubble, it's Caitlin Snyder with 71 points. Grace Peterson, though, she just came out and took 5th in the round. So she could have something to say about it. But keep your eye on Carly Peterson. She also could get there. Really, any one of those 6 girls could be heading to Gillette. But you look at the boys cutting standings, and it's really that way. You've got Keaton Hayden with a 123.5, Cody Hayden with a 111, and then you've got 60, 57, 55.5, and 52. Really, that's going to be an exciting race to watch to find out who's going to be those top 4 going to Gillette.
The race for 3rd and 4th is truly open to anybody right now.
And when we get started, it looks like soon we'll have the boys cutting. It'll be Adam Bellis from Buffalo leading things off. He's number 3 in the state. And then you've got Cody Hayden number 2, or excuse me, yeah, Cody Hayden number 2 will be 2nd. Ian McGuire, the number 5 man, will be 3rd. Then Cooper Justice, number 4, will also ride out number 4. And then you've got Keaton Hayden, the number 1 cowboy in the state, will come out 5th. And Porter McCumber from Thermopolis, he sits at number 6. He will come out to end the boys cutting round 1.
Just looking at it, Cooper Justice, Adam Bellis, and Ian McGuire all have wins this year. So they could potentially move up to that 3rd spot very easily right here this morning.
When you look at who's got momentum, who is it that's coming in here with the wins that in the last few weeks that really has a chance to pull away here?
Well, if you call it momentum, which I would, Keaton Hayden has won 5 out of the last 5. So with Cody Hayden coming in 2nd or 3rd in all of those. Adam Belus, he's got a win, followed by a 3rd and a 2nd place finish.
So really it's anyone's competition, as we've been talking about, really all morning. And it's going to be like that throughout the entire rodeo. I mean, you look at some of these other races we got going on. Of course, Rhodey Farrell and Tucker Caricato, those guys are separated by a razor-thin margin in the bareback riding. I mean, let's talk more about those races that we're excited to see kind of take place later on in the week.
Just a little insight on Caricato and Farrell. Those guys have been number 1 or number 2 all year long. Of course, Hadley Thompson is one to watch in all events that she's in. Breakaway, poles, barrels, and goat tying. She's top 5 in all of those. Special note there, she is a freshman.
Yeah, and she dominated the junior high ranks. So she is definitely one to not only keep your eye on just this year, but really she's about to go on a run that could be very, very difficult to top.
Last time we were here in Rock Springs, we saw Caitlin Moore in the polls post a sub-20 time I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was 19 and some. And I've watched a lot of rodeos this year, and I haven't seen anybody under 20.
And you look at the races, and that's really the only one that you can kind of see as a one way race that could get away. That and the breakaway roping. Hadley Thompson leads that one 100 points. Second place is Catherine Vineyard from Level with 68.5. So, but with the exception of those two events, I mean, it's going to be down to the wire who's got it this week in Rock Springs type competition.
And even in those races, you know, there's still a battle for second, third, and fourth.
Yep.
Separated by very few points.
Sal Bronk riding Jake Schlattman from Grable on top of Rhodey Marsh from Minotaur, Nebraska, 128-116. Jace Mayfield and Carson Ewing separated by a single point in the steer wrestling. That's always how it is in that event, no matter where you're at, PRCA, NHSRA, WHSRA, the steer wrestling, it is always such a close event. In the team roping, though, you've got Kale Espenscheid from Big Piney and Cashton Reynolds separated by 2 points, along with Talon Larson at 108. Then you got Cam Johnson at 107. The team roping is going to go down to the wire as they bring in the cattle to get ready for the boys cutting. The tie-down roping, 4 points separating the top two guys. Corey Baumhoff from Cheyenne in the lead, 4.5 points ahead of Jason Mayfield from Midwest. And then you look at the all-around competition, and Hadley Thompson with a fairly strong lead there, 422, and Caitlin Moore in second with 294.5.
You look at the bull riding, and Brinson Bartlett and Hayden Wells seem to be the top two dogs, but Ashton Slaw has come on strong in the last few events.
We have a competition for the all-around Cowboys. Jason Mayfield of Midwest sits on top with 246 points, but Talon Larson of Gillette right on his heels with 218. As it looks like they're going to settle in the cattle, so we'll turn down the volume a little bit.
Adam Bellows should be the first one out here when they're ready to go. In fact, Adam's right down here below us, getting his saddle tight and getting ready to go.
Coming into this week, Adam sits number 3 in the standings.
In the events that he's been in this year, he's had no lower than a third place finish.
Including a win, it looks like. It'll be Adam Bellis, Cody Hayden, Ian McGuire, Cooper Justice, Keaton Hayden, and Porter McCumber in that order.
Last time out, Adam was second to Keaton Hayden in Gillette.
Hayden hasn't lost in 5 rodeos. All you got to do is less than half that, just 60% of that effort, and you're on your way to Gillette with a state championship buckle.
9 wins and 13 chances this year.
Go round number 2 of the girls and boys cutting, as well as the Reined cow horse. Will get started at 3:45 p.m. for our pre-performance coverage, and then 4 o'clock will be the scheduled start time. You can catch all the performances of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals here in Rock Springs live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
And we want to send a thank you out to the Cowboy Channel for partnering with us this year to bring this to you.
Absolutely. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., 6:45 pre-performance program. We'll crown our first state champions of 2023 in the boys and girls cutting and the Reined cow horse. It's going to be an exciting 24 hours up to that point, as what we saw with the girls was the race become a absolute sprint to the finish now.
Absolutely. You know, one of the exciting things about calling high school rodeo is you know you're going to call a state championship. You just never know who it's going to be.
Right now, if you're looking at the standings, you got to think Keaton Hayden has a very good chance to win that one on the boys. Let's, while we're waiting for the cattle to settle, let's go ahead and preview the Reined cow horse standings. As Cooper Justice sits first from Parkman. And that's a fairly good lead, but that lead could also evaporate if you have a couple off days here at the state finals.
Cooper slowed down over the last couple of weeks. He did share a win in Buffalo. Bailey Lane, I think, is one to watch there. She's won 4 out of 6.
Oh, if she can continue the type of momentum she's had in the girls cutting, then she could walk away with 2 championships on Wednesday morning.
Sydney Rohde has been pretty consistently in the top 2 or 3 as well. But there again, you've got a real battle for the 3rd and 4th spots.
Yeah, you do. Of course, Cooper Justice from Parkman, though, is the man to beat, but Bailey Lane coming on strong, coming into the state finals. Could be something to keep your eye on, and we'll have more on that later on as we are now getting set for the boys cutting first go round. Adam Bellis will be our first competitor. Trying to get the cattle settled here. It's going to be a good time here in Rock Springs this week.
Already quite a bit of excitement in the first event with the 1 point separating 3 different riders.
Yeah, and then that resulted in the standings tightening up to where you have a tie at the top. And we will definitely be looking forward to round number 2 of that taking place at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And you look at the sheet, the day sheet, the order, it's going to be Tiana Jelovic, who was second by half a point in the average, and then Bailey Lane, the winner from this morning, will be the last to go this afternoon, and that was predetermined. So not having anything to do with what we saw earlier.
Any type of sports has a funny way of working out like that.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing they'll go reverse average order in the final round tomorrow morning. But that's just a guess.
Adeline Northgard will be second this afternoon, so I'm sure she will set the bar for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And we'll watch with great interest as Tiana Jelovic and Bailey Lane take their runs this afternoon. Looks like the cattle are getting settled, and we're about ready to get started with our boys cutting. Adam Bellis from Buffalo will lead things off. Cody Hayden from Gillette will be second. Ian McGuire from Wheatland will be third. Cooper Justice from Parkman, your leader, will be fourth. Keaton Hayden from Gillette will be fifth. And Porter McCumber from Thermopolis will be our final cutter here in round number 1.
Adam Bellis, Cooper Justice, Ian McGuire, and Porter are all battling for those 3rd and 4th spots.
Again, you look at the state standings in the boys cutting, and really any one of those 6 young men could be headed to Gillette at the national finals.
You would think that Cody Hayden and Keaton Hayden have stamped their tickets already, but you never know what's going to happen there.
Keaton Hayden, the number 1 guy, man in the state, will come out 5th. So that will be fun to watch as we get set for Adam Bellis, and his run will be brought to you by Water of Life. Water of Life is a family-owned business serving western Wyoming and the surrounding region for more than 25 years, improving and purifying your purifying your air and drinking water is what we do. Give us a call today to find out how we can help you. Adam Bellis from Buffalo sits 3rd in the state with 60 points. Final instructions being given before we get started with the boys cutting.
You know, we were really impressed with the rodeo we came to earlier in Rock Springs with how well it was run, and that's exactly why they detail everything for these kids to keep everything running smoothly.
All these kids know where they need to be when they need to be there.
Who they have to check in with.
So it is official. Adam Bellis from Buffalo will be our first boys cutter, and here we go. Again, he's got 2.5 minutes to cut as many from the herd as possible. Of course, they'll start one at a time. And Bellis will turn that horse loose. Again, this run presented by Water of Life. Water of Life is a family-owned business serving western Wyoming and the surrounding region for more than 25 years. Improving and purifying your air and drinking water is what we do. Give us a call today to find out how we can help you. 307-787-6800.
Adam's keeping a real small gap between him and that steer.
Bellis is going to go ahead and cut another one from it. And as you mentioned earlier, Matt, the horse already knows what cattle they're going after.
The horse picks it out far before the cowboy does.
Now it looks like he's going to go for this one on the left. And no, actually be that one on the right. So that one kind of runs a little bit and takes Adam for a little bit of a ride. $30 left for Bellis in the opening run of the boys cutting here at the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals.
I'll try to cut one more here.
And that's your time. It's a 71 for Bellis. So he will get things started. And that'll now bring up Cody Hayden from Gillette.
Cody's currently second in the state. Last rodeo in Gillette, Adam came in second and Cody was third, so he'll be looking to reverse the roles here.
Has to be to 71. Set by Bellis on our ready leaderboard. Safety and excellence in industrial services since 1982. Hayden, the #2 cowboy in state. So he's got potential to reverse that, like what you were talking about in this run, by the way. Brought to you by Uinta BOCES. What are you waiting for? Uinta BOCES #1 in Evanston. Wyoming offers college and career readiness classes on site and online. Visit BOCES #1 at uintaeducation.org.
Got his steer picked out there. We'll watch him go to work.
Cody Hayden from Gillette, home of the National High School Rodeo Finals.
And a long ways from Rock Springs.
Yeah. As that one gets away from him a little bit, might cost him just a hair. After the boys cutting, we'll have the Reined cow horse first go around. That's Hayden doing a pretty good job here. Look at this horse just work from side to side. 30 seconds remaining for Hayden. And that's the time for Hayden. It's a 64 for Hayden, and that now means Bellis will hold the lead. And that'll set things up for Ian McGuire out of Wheatland. This run brought to you by My Life Financial. Life is always changing, which means your insurance needs change also. My Life Financial in Evanston can help with all your insurance needs. Call My Life Financial at 435-557-3170. That's 435-557-3170.
Ian had a win back in Wheatland on the second day there. He's perfectly capable of moving up and making it interesting for the third and fourth spots.
McGuire currently number 5 in the state with 55.5 points, but only 5 points out of that third place position. So it's Bellis on top with a 71 right now. Cody Hayden in second with a 64. So plenty of room to kind of squeeze into that second place spot if you can. But also at 71, we saw 72 win the girls' first go round. But right now, the Cattle not necessarily cooperating with McGuire as they're kind of bunching up.
There we go.
McGuire from Wheatland. Doing a pretty nice job here.
Steer's not wanting to cooperate too much with him.
So McGuire's just gonna target another one. .30 seconds remaining for McGuire. And we'll hit our halfway point of the boys cutting go round number 1. And that's the time. Will be a 68, so it does put him in second place. I'll bring up Justice Cooper from Parkman. Cooper, the number 1 Reined cow horse competitor, but sits in 4th right now on the bubble to make it to the state or the national finals.
Cooper started their year very strong, finishing second 3 times, third once, and then had a win. He's been a little bit off the last couple, but I'm sure he's looking to turn it around here. pick out his first steer here. And he's got one picked out.
So I'll go to work on him.
And the helpers in the arena try to keep that steer moving to give the Cowboy the best chance to score the most points.
This run brought to you by Cowboy State Realty. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, Cowboy State Realty offers the Southwest Wyoming real estate experience you've been looking for. Give us a call today at 307-200-4332. Seconds left for Parkman, or excuse me, for Cooper from Parkman. And usually at that 30-second mark, you see them, all right, I'm going to cut a new one away.
Pick out the final one.
Still chasing that 71 by Adam Bellis, who came out first. And that's it for Cooper Justice. It's a 72 for Cooper Justice, so he goes into the lead. So that's a big run there for Cooper Justice. You said he got off to a great start.
He's currently sitting in fourth, so that'll help solidify his position.
Our next run brought to you by Evanston Cowboy Days, the biggest little rodeo in the West in Evanston, Wyoming on Labor Day weekend. Catch Chancey Williams on Friday, September 1st, and PRCA Rodeos with a host of other fun family events from September 2nd through the 4th, only at the Evanston Cowboy Days. Visit EvanstonCowboyDays.com for the schedule and to buy your tickets today.
Keaton Hayden in the arena now, so you're your number one Cowboy in the cutting.
72, the same score that we saw win the go for the girls' competition, now sits atop. Keaton Hayden has been on a roll as of late.
9 out of 13 total wins, and 5 in a row.
Hayden picking one already over in that other third, trying to work its way towards the center. That horse is absolutely focused on that calf right there.
You watch Keaton, he just keeps those reins loose and lets the horse go to work. Another one cut out here.
Hayden doing a really good job here. As that horse, or as that calf decides to just kind of run away a little bit. And Hayden not giving up on it at all. Just waits for it to come back.
Back out and cut another one out here.
Seeing why he has been on a roll here.
Absolutely. That's time for him.
And that's a 73 for Keaton Hayden. And we got one more left. And Hayden guaranteed a top 2 finish here in go round number 1.
Porter McCumber sitting in 6th right now, but he's still well in range for that 3rd or 4th spot.
If you're just joining us, Torrington's Bailey Lane won the first round of the girls cutting.
Followed very closely by Tiana Jolovich and Adeline Norsgaard. Porter McCumber will be the final one this morning for cutting. Looks like he's zeroing on that red steer there.
Porter McCumber from Thermopolis in the arena right now, chasing that 73 by Keaton Lane.
Pick out his second one here.
McCumber doing a good job here. McCumber sits in 6th place in the standings. But again, any one of those 6 guys can punch their ticket to Gillette, finish in the top 4.
Very few points separate 6th from 3rd.
A 73, 72, 71. These are your top 3 scores. Of course, that 73, Keaton Hayden from Gillette, 72. Cooper Justice from Parkman, and 71, Adam Bellis from Buffalo. As we get time. And it's a 67 for Porter McCumber. And that is going to do it for the boys cutting. As we get ready for the Reined cow horse. And let's take a look at our standings now. Brought to you by Ready. It's Keaton Hayden takes the win with a 73. Cooper Justice takes second with a 72. Adam Bellis from Buffalo in third with a 71. Ian McGuire from fourth with Wheatland with a 68. Porter McCumber, 67, takes fifth, and Cody Hayden with a 64 in sixth place. We'll have those updated unofficial state standings in just one moment. So Hayden will take home the 15 points. Cooper Justice will take home the 13.5. 7.5 for Cody Hayden, as we might see some shift in the rankings there. Bellis will get 12 points. Ian McGuire will get 10.5 points. And Porter McCumber will get 9. So we now look at that one. And your standings have not changed in the state standings. It is still Keaton Hayden on top, but he's stretched out his lead to 20 points over Cody Hayden. As Adam Bellis, though, now in third place. No movement in those standings, but it is getting tighter for those third and fourth place spots. And we will get ready for that one in just a few minutes. That's going to do it for round one of the boys cutting. When we come back, we'll have the Reined Cow Horse event. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals live from Rock Springs on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, presented by Addicted Power Sports.
We are chasing a dream, one that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites us. Here's to those who lead this life.
Gillette's Keaton Hayden makes it 6 wins in a row in the boys cutting as he takes round one of the state finals with a score of 73. And as we get set for the Reined Cow Horse, they're going to take apart the small pin. And now this is the event that we're honestly just going to be quiet most of the time because it's just a pleasure to watch these horses work.
Several different options or requirements going into this. There's a walk, a trot, a lope, and backing. Penalties can range anywhere from 2 points up to 50 points for the most egregious errors. Hopefully we don't see any of those today, but it'll be a Circle 8 pattern, and we'll just watch the cowboys and cowgirls go to work on this.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the Reined Cow Horse standings. And Cooper Justice of Parkman, who we just saw in the boys cutting, sits atop the leaderboard. But Bailey Lane, she has all the momentum in the world in the cutting right now, and she's got a lot of momentum in the Reined Cow Horse.
Absolutely. Cooper's won 7 events this year, different rodeos. Bailey's won 4, but she's won 4 out of the last 6. So don't know what's gotten into her, but she is on a roll all the way across the board here.
Don't know what's gotten into her. Well, I think she wants to head to Gillette is what's probably gotten into her.
Something about National High School Finals, I think,
Right.
that sparked her. Let's see. You got Josie Waite, who's had several top 2 finishes this year. Tally Engel came in second in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey Kramer was second the first day in Jackson, and then second the second day in Wheatland. Jamie Adamson had a second place finish on Wheatland the first day, so several cowboys and cowgirls here that could challenge to move up to that 3rd or 4th spot. It looks like Cooper Justice, barring anything outrageous, will stay in that 1 spot. Unless Bailey just goes ahead and takes this round and the
decides
next
to
one,
go.
which she is obviously capable of.
Gillette's Keaton Hayden, though. Looking at the boys' cutting standings, he has made it 6 wins in a row and now has a commanding 20-point lead on this one. And you got to think, and also on the average when you look at it, he's looking very, very good and sitting very pretty there in this one.
You know, sometimes these guys will get on. We've seen Bailey get on a roll here in the last few weeks. It looks like Keaton's been on a roll the whole season.
Nobody has been able to touch him in the cutting, and the last person to beat him, I would be curious to find out who that is, as I'm sure you have that, Matt.
And let's see here. Let me look it up here real quick here. The last person to beat him was probably a familiar name to him in Cody Hayden.
As we get set for the Reined Cow Horse, will take up the entire arena, and this one is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Now, this is an event that I've seen online before. I've never seen it in person, so I'm actually really excited for this one.
I've seen it, but it was close to 30 years ago, so it'll be a refresher for me here.
Now will be a good time to show you our schedule. Tomorrow we will have at 6:45 a.m. the final go of the Reined Cow Horse in the cutting, and we have got some exciting races, specifically the girls cutting, as you've now got Adeline Norsegard and Bailey Lane tied atop the state standings with 125.5 points each. We'll find out who wins that one tomorrow morning at 6:45 a.m. Then on Thursday, June 8th at 8 o'clock a.m. we'll be on the air with the first performance, and then at 5:30 p.m. we'll be on the air with the second performance of the first go on Thursday, same times, 8 and 5:30 p.m. for the second go, and then on Saturday at 8:45 we'll have the grand entry and national qualifying round performance, where we'll crown our state champions in all the events with the exception of the 3 we'll be watching over the next couple of days.
Absolutely. As we talked a little bit about earlier, there's several tight races that we'll look at on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well, with Tucker Caricato and Rhodey Farrell battling it out. Of course, Tucker was your national champion last year, and all 4 events that Hadley Thompson is in. She has a chance to be first there. Junior high champion from last year, looking to repeat as a high school champion.
So the Reined Cow Horse, 8 competitors here today. Cooper Justice, who we just saw in the boys cutting, then Maddie Bloomgren, of course, from Buffalo. Jamie Adamson from Buffalo, Tally Engel from Rosette, Audrey Kremer from Cody, Josie Waite from Morrill. I'm going to turn that crowd mic down just a little bit with the tractor running there. Sydney Rohde from Warland and Bailey Lane from Torrington. So it's interesting. You've got the number 1 person in the state. Cooper Justice riding out first, and then Bailey Lane, who has built some momentum, she's going to ride out last.
You know, I'm sure Cooper is gonna set the bar, but right now I'm not sure I'd want to challenge Bailey too much.
She has been on a roll, not just in this event, but also in the girls cutting, as she has won round 1 earlier today. And now, again, we can't talk about it enough. We have a virtual tie at the top of the leaderboard in the girls cutting right now, at each sitting with 125 apiece. It is 125 and a half apiece. It's Adeline Norsegard and Bailey Lane. So that is going to be a fun race to watch the rest of the rodeo. Well, the rest of the day, actually, is round 2 will be on tap at 3:45, and there you see it right there. Norsegard had 113.5 coming into the first go-round. Bailey Lane won 10.5, and then Lane got the 3 she needed to tire. And that is going to make things interesting. Keep your eye on Tiana Jelovic, though. She had a great first round as well. She only trails in the average by a half a point. And not only do you get 15 points for each go, you get 15 points for winning the average as well.
Absolutely. And the real battle right now looks like it's for that 4th spot. If Grace Peterson can come up with a high finish this afternoon and tomorrow, she could very well take that 4th spot.
Got started at about 8 o'clock this afternoon, or excuse me, this morning. It's been a long morning already, but 8 o'clock this morning. And we are ready to get started with the final event of the opening round. It's the Reined Cow Horse event. And again, this will be one of those ones where we just kind of let the action do the talking, because you just have to watch and enjoy the effort and the I guess you could say poetry in motion that these horses exhibit on this event.
Appreciate the time that the horses and the riders have put in to be able to compete in this event.
So,
you know, a lot of these events, there's 2 or 3 cowboys or cowgirls that are right at the top. I think interesting thing to watch this week is that battle for 3rd and 4th spot.
Yeah. I mean, and if there is a tie anywhere in the top 4, then everyone involved in the tie will go to the Nationals as well.
Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing 5 Wyoming cowboys and cowgirls go from each event.
Right now, all eyes on the center of the indoor arena here at the Sweetwater Events Complex. Big thank you to the Wyoming High School Rodeo Association, the National High School Rodeo Association, and the Cowboy Channel for allowing us to stream the state finals. We'll have every performance as we get started with the Reined Cow Horse and Cutting events today, this afternoon, and tomorrow morning. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll have the performances in the big arena, where we'll see I guess you could see mainstream rodeo events. We'll have the pole bending, the goat tying, the tie down roping, the breakaway roping, the team roping, the barrel racing. Then, of course, we'll have steer wrestling, bareback riding, bull riding, and saddle bronc riding as well. So you can catch it all on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app.
Is there one particular event that you're looking forward to more than the other, or are they all
I have an affinity. You know, they're all up there, but just because of my family history with it and my dad competing in it, I've always loved saddle bronc riding. That has always been one of my favorites, and it's going to be a fun event. Of course, the bareback riding, how can you not be excited for that race, probably between 2 of the biggest stars in Wyoming High School Rodeo, between Tucker Caricato and Rhodey Farrell. That's going to be one down to the wire. You look at really any one of these races, and there's a tight race. I mean, in the barrel racing, Jordan Mormon from Gillette leads by 13 points over Hadley Thompson, who has dominated on the all-around cowgirl race. In the boys cutting, we talked about it. Keaton Hayden, he looks very, very promising now. Hadley Thompson running away with the breakaway roping, but keep your eye on Catherine Vineyard from Level as well. In the bull riding, Brenson Bartlett leads with an 82, but you know what? It's going to be a really interesting bull riding because Hayden Welsh from Gillette, he has been on a roll lately. Ashton Slaw from Manila, Utah, you can't count him out either. The goat tying, 4 points separating Hadley Thompson and Rayleigh Caldwell. In the pole bending, Caitlin Moore, no surprise there. She has the lead as we saw her put down one of the fastest runs, I think, probably in the country, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we were in Rock Springs this last April. Jake Schlattman only up by 8 points over Rhodey Marsh in the saddle bronc riding. Jace Mayfield only 1 point on top of Carson Ewing. Bodie Combs, though, from Wellington, Colorado, only back by 10 points, and 13 points is Cannon Campbell and Shoshone. That is going to be a close race as well. In the team roping, Kale Eschbenscheid currently has 110 points. Cashton Reynolds and Talon Larson have 108 points, and then you got to keep your eye on Cam Johnson with 107 points. And then the tie-down roping, Corey Baumhoff only 4 points ahead of Jace Mayfield. And then the all-around cowboy. The cowgirl looks pretty well sewn up as Hadley Thompson has an over 200 or just under 200-point lead over Caitlin Moore. But the all-around cowboy competition, that is very interesting because Jace Mayfield has a slim lead over Talon Larson. It's 246 to 218, and that's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. And just stepping back to the tie-down roping for a minute, that's where my affinity lies. From where I grew up, there's 11 cowboys that could very well end up in those top 4 spots.
Yeah, and I just went over the championship races. That's not even including, as you mentioned, the top 4 race, which that's really what you want. You come here and coach, or excuse me, not coach. It's used to broadcasting other events, but you come in here and I asked Dixie Huxtable, how far up does this rank for each of these cowboys and cowgirls? And they said it's probably the top one because you win here, you set yourself up for success at the national championship. It's a lot harder to get it done at the national finals if you're coming from the 3 or 4 spot. But it is going to be a fun competition all the way to the finish as we get set to get started with our reined cow horse. Round number 1.
It's easier to win from the top, but if you just give yourself a chance to be there, that you never know what's going to happen when you get into the national finals.
So it looks like we are ready to get started. This run brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Center, where our business is earning your trust.
Got the arena raked, and it looks like we should be set to go here shortly.
Justice Cooper should lead things off. Again, we're going to try to get as much information as possible, but there's no announcer. We'll see if they announce scores after the run, and if they do, we will definitely let you know. But Cooper Justice will lead things off, your top cowboy in this event, or cowhand in this event, I guess you can say, since it is a co-ed event.
Again, the ones to watch here are Bailey Lane and Cooper Justice. With I hate to keep saying it, but it's just an amazing role that Bailey's on. I can see her taking over that top spot.
And here is Cooper here is Cooper Justice from Parkman. Oh, thought he was running in. Apparently that was actually a volunteer. Again, when we get started, we're going to just kind of be quiet and let you enjoy this, because there's not much more you can say that these athletes aren't saying with their horses, and it's really a pleasure to watch.
Requires complete focus from the rider and the horse in this event.
We'll have crowd noise turned up a little bit so you can hear what's going on in the arena. Again, when this gets started, during the runs, we won't have any commentary for you because you can kind of see what's going on, but we also want to be respectful of the event as well. Cooper Justice will lead things off from Parkman. Maddie Bloomgren from Buffalo will be second. Jamie Adamson from Buffalo will be third. Tally Engel from Rosetta will be fourth. Audrey Crummer from Cody will be fifth. Josie Waite from Morrill will be sixth. Sydney Rody from Moreland will be seventh. Bailey Lane from Torrington will be eighth.
If you're going to be in the area, another fun events to check out are the trap shooting and the light rifle shooting. This week, they'll crown state champions there as well.
Yep. As we'll talk more about those races a little bit in a minute.
They may be making some final adjustments to the arena down at the other end.
Eight competitors in the Reined Cow Horse event. I invite you to join us for the second go-round of Cutting and Reined Cow Horse State Finals. It will be this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Our pre-performance program at 3:45. And we'll hear from NHSRA Director of Broadcasts and Advertising, D.D. DeLeo.
As we've mentioned a couple of times, DD's been instrumental in making this happen for us and for the state of Wyoming this year. You know, looking at where some of these cowboys and cowgirls are from and where we know the rodeos are, any guesses on how many hundreds of miles they put on in a rodeo season?
It is definitely not a small amount, considering Gillette is about, what, a 5.5 hour drive from here, 7 hours from where we hail from, which is Evanston, which is an hour and a half down the road, which, according with Wyoming, that's a hop, a skip, and a jump, to be honest.
We've got rodeos all the way up in Newcastle, up in that northeastern corner, from over to Jackson, back down here to Rock Springs, just about anywhere in between.
And then on top of that, some of these competitors also competing in out-of-state rodeos, such as the Icebreaker in Ogden.
Requires a lot of dedication, not just from the kids, but from their parents as well, to get them to each rodeo each weekend.
It's not like most sports where this one team and is going to be in this spot, and the school helps pay for it. This is largely out of pocket for the kids themselves, and they all meet in one location every weekend.
As we all know, in Wyoming, sometimes the spring rodeos are tough to get to.
Yep. Especially with the spring we just finished. Spring that lasted a grand total of about 2 weeks. Winter kind of extended itself into the majority of that little time frame. Waiting the start of the Reined cow horse event here at the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals. Live on mylocalradio.com and on demand at the Cowboy, or on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, excuse me. Big thank you to our headline sponsor. It's Addicted Power Sports in Evanston. Whether it's for work or play, check out Addicted Power Sports selection of dirt bikes, road bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides. Addicted Power Sports, Evanston, Wyoming, 307-789-7533. And our replay sponsor. We haven't used the instant replay in this broadcast, but we will definitely be using it in others. It is Evanston Cowboy Days, PRCA Rodeo, the biggest little rodeo in the West. Catch it in Evanston, Wyoming on Labor Day weekend. It all starts with Chancey Williams, the reigning Rocky Mountain Country Music Association Entertainer of the Year, taking the stage on Friday, September 1st, and PRCA Rodeos with a host of other fun and family events from September 2nd through the 4th, only at the Evanston Cowboy Days. Visit evanstoncowboydays.com for the schedule and to buy your tickets. Our leaderboard and results board brought to you by Ready Services, safety and excellence in industrial services since 1982.
If I'm not wrong, Chancey Williams just had a new album come out
He
recently.
did. It's a good one, too.
I have not listened to it yet, but...
Yeah, he did. We listened to it when we drove up here. You just didn't pay attention
You're
yesterday.
Right. I've not listened to the whole thing yet. Let's put it that way. Remember seeing him quite often in Laramie.
Mm-hmm.
He has a rodeo history behind him as well. I believe he was bareback. He might have been saddle bronc, but I know he rode the broncs.
Also the only cowboy besides the immortal Chris Ledoux to perform on the main stage and compete at Cheyenne Frontier Days.
That's a very slim company that you're keeping there.
Very elite list there. So, and you can catch him in Evanston, Wyoming on September 1st, Friday night.
Run down our other list of sponsors here. We've got Water of Life. Water of Life is a family-owned business serving western Wyoming and the surrounding region for more than 25 years. Improving and purifying your air and drinking water is what we do. Give us a call today to find out how we can help you. 307-787-6800. We've got My Life Financial that's a sponsor as well. Life is always changing, which means your insurance needs change also. My Life Financial in Evanston, Wyoming can help with all your insurance needs. Call My Life Financial at 435-557-3170. And Cowboy State Realty out of the Bridger Valley. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, Cowboy State Realty offers the Southwest Wyoming real estate experience you're looking for. Give them a call today at 307-200-4332.
And as well as this run being brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Center. Service, selection, and value. We invite you to experience the Les Schwab difference. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 1 minute, hopefully with the beginning of the Reined Cow Horse event. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals, presented by Addicted Power Sports, live on mylocalradio.com and on, check that. Live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, and we are actually going to go ahead and get started. Cooper Justice will lead things off, and we will allow you to enjoy that run. Cooper Justice from Parkman as we await the score. As you can see, this event really spotlighting working cow horses. Not only did they run the pattern, and then they went and worked with the cattle as well. See if we get a score for Justice. Let's take a look at a little bit of it on our Cowboy Days replay board. Just a good job by Cooper there.
Having the arena enlarged obviously lets those steers run a little bit more and a little more difficult to contain there.
Waiting to see what the score will be from Justice as they're tabulating it all right now. There's a specific pattern that each one of these horses have to run, so they can kind of compare them head to head. Cooper Justice, #1 in the state. Never an advantage to be the first one out, though.
No. Human nature for the judges.
Sound like Cooper got a rating of 70 with the cattle mark of 72. So 70 for Cooper. I'll now bring up Maddie Bloomgren from Buffalo, who will be our next competitor.
Maddie's currently 5th in the state, but well within reach of that 4th place spot.
Maddie Bloomgren from Buffalo wrapping up her run. So we believe that when they say the scores, they give out a rating and then a cattle rating. So, for example, Cooper Justice had a 70 with a cattle rating of 72. It looks, and we may be incorrect here, we'll ask some questions during the break, but we believe that that means that the 72 would be the tiebreaker because the rating of 70 is kind of the average start rating.
And tiebreaker in case there's anybody that comes in with that same 70 rating.
Maddie Bloomgren from Buffalo. Waiting her score. We await the score for. So a 65 rating for Maddie. I'll now bring up Jamie Adamson from Buffalo. While chasing that 70 set by Cooper Justice. Jamie Adamson from Buffalo, our third competitor in the Reined cow horse. If you're just joining us, we saw the boys and girls cutting some exciting runs as we await the score for Jamie Adamson and check it out on our Cowboy Days replay board. Look at this nice gait from the horse. Comes in, comes to that full stop. Probably want a little bit cleaner of a stop if you're the judges. By the way, that run brought to you by Y-High. Visit Y-High Federal Credit Union in Lyman, Green River, and right here in Rock Springs, as well as Cheyenne and Casper, for all your new and used auto loans, personal loans, and business and home loans. Y-High Federal Credit Union, we're with you. Everybody chasing that 70 set by the state leader Cooper Justice out of Parkman. That was Jamie Adamson from Buffalo. On deck will be Tally Engel from Rosette.
Tally's number 6 right now in the state. But again, well within that range to move up.
The 3 judges across the way, comparing their notes.
All right, the score for Jimmy in the Reined is a 69. Cattle work is 70.
So a 69 for Adamson. That puts her in second place. That'll now bring up Tally Engel from Rosette. Tally Engel of Rosette. And it looks like they're going to rerun the cattle work portion of Tally's run.
And they are. I'm not sure why, but we'll find out here shortly.
That's Tally Engel from Rosette, chasing that 70 set by Cooper Justice, but a 69 by Jamie Adamson. So it's second. Justice, by the way, the #1 cowhand in this event. So we take a look at it on the Cowboy Days replay board. This was the second chance that she had to run the cattle work portion. Really good job kind of making that happen. Engel comes into today's competition 6th in the state. On deck, it will be Audrey Kremer of Cody.
Audrey has a couple of second place finishes this year and tied for first at the last one in Buffalo.
Waiting for the response from the judges for Tally Engel of Rosette.
Score for Tally on the Reined is 69.5. On the cattle work, 74.5. Next up will be
69.5 for Tally Engel. So that puts her into second place. I'll now bring up Audrey Kremer from Cody, our next competitor. And this run brought to you by Addicted Power Sports. Whether it's for work or play, check out Addicted Power Sports selection of dirt bikes, ATVs, and road bikes and side-by-sides. Addicted Power Sports, Evanston, Wyoming, 307-79-7533. Cody's Audrey Kremer here on the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals, live from Rock Springs, live on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, presented by Addicted Power Sports. Let's take a look at our results board right now. It is Cooper Justice Apartment with a 70, Tally Ingle in second with a 69, Jamie Adamson in third with a 69. And then Bloomgren from Buffalo with a 65 on our ready results board. Waiting the score for Audrey Kremer of Cody, as we have Josie Waits from Morrill on deck, Sydney Rohde from Worland in the hole, and Bailey Lane will close it out.
Looked like Audrey did a really nice job with the cattle work on that one.
That, from what we've been able to understand, that serves as a tiebreaker if she was to tie with Justice. Right now it's a 72 that Cooper Justice has. Highest cattle work, though, is a 74 by Tally Ingle. Check it out on the Cowboy Days replay board. Does a great job with just kind of handling this horse and letting it work.
Nice stop right into a reverse.
Our replay brought to you by Cowboy Days, biggest little rodeo in the West in Evanston, Wyoming over Labor Day weekend. We talked about how sometimes it's a disadvantage to come out first, but Cooper Justice came out first and he's got the lead early.
So far, Tally challenged him, came within half a point.
Waiting the score for Audrey Kremer of Cody.
Okay, for Audrey and the rating is 69, cattle work 70.5.
69 with a 70.5. So that actually will put her
Do a tie for third.
with Jamie Adamson. Do we remember what the score for Adamson was? The cattle score there?
She had a 70.
So actually it will put
her
Kremer into third. Here is Morrill's Josie Waite. This run brought to you by Water of Life in Evanston. Water of Life is a family-owned business serving western Wyoming and the surrounding region for more than 25 years. Give us a call today at 307-787-6800. Josie Waite from Morrill. As we wait the score for her, let's take a look at our results board brought to you by Ready, as we got a cattle score section entered now, as that serves as the tiebreaker. As you see, Audrey Kremer actually in 3rd place, Jamie Adamson in 4th. Actually, we can fix that right now. On our Ready results board, safety and excellence in industrial services since 1982. And your thought on that run, Matt Petrie?
You know, I think she started a little slow on the cattle, but really picked it up towards the end of it. Everything else looked really clean to me. She let the steer get quite a ways away from her to start with.
Awaiting the score for Josie Waite out of Morrill.
Josie's currently in the 4th spot in the state, so she'll be looking to hold on to that.
Then we've got Sydney Rohde on deck, and then Bailey Lane, who won the girls cutting to start the day. Can she win the final event of go round number 1 in the Reined cow horse and cutting, I guess you can say, days of the rodeo?
Again, we said at the beginning that Justice would probably set the score to set the bar for this event, but not to challenge Bailey too much. So we'll see what the next 3 can come up with here.
And worthy to note, Cooper Justice, first man out, he got a 70, and he's the number 1 competitor in this event. Got on a roll, winning 5 of 6. And Josie Waite goes to the lead with a 71. That's a big result for her. You said it yourself that the reining part looked clean, and of course this is the Reined Cow Horse event, and now she takes the lead. That'll now bring up Sydney Rohde out of Warland. This run brought to you by UNT-BOCES number 1. What are you waiting for? UNT-BOCES number 1 in Evanston, Wyoming offers college and career readiness classes on-site and online. Visit UNT-BOCES number 1 at unteducation.org.
Sydney is number 3 in the state right now, coming off a win in Buffalo a couple of weeks ago.
Sydney Rodeo out of Warland, our penultimate competitor here in round 1 of the Cutting and Rein Cow Horse events here at the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals here in Rock Springs, presented by Addictive Power Sports, live on mylocalradio.com and, of course, on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app. Big thank you to them for working with us and making this possible as we take a look at the Cowboy Days replay board. Look at this.
That was a really nice run.
I was about to say, and this is a nice part right here. This stop right here. Really well done there by Rhodey.
She really worked the steer hard at the end. So that should come through for her.
71 by Josie Waite sits on top of the leaderboard. And then we'll have Bailey Lane, our final competitor. She was our final competitor, our 4th competitor of the afternoon, of the morning. And then we'll take a 1-minute break, come back, wrap things up from round 1. And then we'll get you set for round number 2. Coverage at 3:45 this afternoon. 72.5 for Sydney Rhodey, and now she will go to the lead with one more. And this is Bailey Lane from Torrington. And this run brought to you by My Life Financial. Life is always changing, which means your insurance needs change also. My Life Financial in Evanston can help you with all your insurance needs. Call My Life Financial at 435-557-3170.
Just a reminder on Bailey, she's won 4 out of 6 and is challenging Cooper Justice for the lead right now in the state.
Bailey Lane from Torrington ends it here in round number 1 for the cutting in the Reined cow horse events. She won the girls cutting earlier in the day. Well, she'd take the Reined cow horse, and right here on our Cowboy Days replay board, you can see her cutting chops getting put to work here.
I think she had a really nice run. The steer got away from her a little bit at the end, so I'm not sure she's going to overtake Sydney Rohde, but we'll see here shortly.
Again, that would be the cattle score, so the tie-breaking score. It'll all be about what she did on the Reined pattern.
That looks really sharp.
Mm-hmm. How many rows in a row is it for Bailey Lane coming into today?
4 out of 6.
Waiting the score for Lane. A 69 and a 69.5 for Lane. And that will put her in, looks like, a tie for the bottom, but because of her cattle score, looks like she's going to finish in 7th. So let's go ahead and take a look at our ready results board. Final results of the Reined cow horse event. It is Sydney Rohde from Moreland taking the victory with a 72.5. Josie Waite from Morrill with a 71. Cooper Justice from Parkman with a 70. A 69.5 for Tally Engel puts her in 4th. Audrey Kremer, Jamie Adamson, and Bailey Lane with a 69, but it's Kremer with a 70.5 cattle score breaking the tie. Adamson with a 70 and Lane with a 69.5, and then Maddie Bloomgren coming in 8th as we will update the state standings. Just give us 1 second. So Rohde taking the win. And a good performance for her. We'll have those updating state standings when we come back after this in 1 minute. You're tuned in to the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals live from Rock Springs on mylocalradio.com and on demand on the Cowboy Channel Plus app presented by Addicted Power Sports.
We are chasing a dream. One that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites. We are chasing a dream. One that tests our grit, our faith, our courage. This dream calls us. It unites us. Here's to those who lead this life.
And we welcome you back to Rock Springs Sweetwater Events Complex here for the site of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals. Time for our post program, and we'll kick it off with our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Of course, find them in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette. Let's go ahead and take a look at our standings throughout the day. We'll kick it off with the girls cutting event. Sorry about that, as we are just kind of get things set up. We'll kick it off with the girls cutting. In round one, it was a win for Bailey Lane from Torrington, taking it with a 72. Tiana Jolovich with a 71 comes in second. Adeline Norstegard rounds out the top three with a 71, so 71.5 for Jolovich. And then you look at the girls' state standings, and man, did it tighten up. 125 apiece at the top of the leaderboard between Norstegard and Lane. Go round number two is going to be very, very exciting for that reason. Moving on to the boys cutting. It was a win by Keaton Hayden out of Gillette. He wins it with a 73. Cooper Justice comes in second with a 72. Adam Bellis in third with a 71. And Keaton Hayden continuing it, getting his sixth victory in a row, and extends his lead out to 20 points in the unofficial state standings that we have here. Then in the Reined cow horse event, it was a win by Sydney Rhodey from Warland with a 72.5. Josie Waits in second with a 71, and then Cooper Justice in third with a 70. As we look at our updated Reined cow horse standings, it's still Cooper Justice on top, but Sydney Rhodey now into second place. Bailey Lane in third. Josie Waite will be down there in fourth. Fifth for Tally Engel, who comes up from sixth. Maddie Bloomgren into sixth. Audrey Kummer seventh, and Jamie Adamson eighth. And Matt, just looking at this, kind of your reaction to these results and what we've seen here in round number one.
You know, just looking at the reining while we're there, Sydney Rhodey moving up in the second. You know, like we talked earlier with Dixie Huxtable. First or second spot's a lot better than third or fourth going into state. Really looking forward to the girls cutting this afternoon.
Yes.
You know, there's the two that are tied, and then there's one right behind them as well. So that could be pins and needles for a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, everybody's going to be watching that one with great interest, as Bailey Lane took the win. But in the girls cutting standings, Norstegard and Lane tied at 125.5 apiece. That is your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap, brought to you by Jimmy John's in Evanston, Sheridan, Gillette, and right here in Rock Springs. That is going to do it for our coverage of round one of the 2023 Wyoming High School Rodeo Association State Finals Cutting and Reined cow horse. We'll have round two coming up, pre-performance program at 2:45, where we'll talk with Dee Dee DeLeo. She is the advertising and broadcast director for the National High School Rodeo Association in our pre-performance program. And then we'll have round number two of these same events, same cowboys and same cowgirls, get it back in action competing for state title and a spot on the Wyoming team at national finals. On behalf of our camera person, we have the great Mr. Dennis Bedwell and my broadcast partner, Mr. Matt Petrie. I'm Elan Olliff, saying we'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful morning, and we'll see you at 3:45. Thank you so much.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.